And I think it's really common that if you've got a slow metabolism, that you're not hungry in the morning. I see that all the time.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, ugh. I don't want breakfast coming near me.
What is up with that? Because my mom actually has to take stuff for like her thyroid and like the metabolism stuff. And yeah, she hates eating in the morning too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all need our vitamins after surgery, regardless of what you think.
Yes.
It's a must.
Yes. So why not choose the easiest and the best tasting in the community?
Seriously, it's ProCare, guys. ProCare
Duh.
is so delicious. I use their chewable for over a year. That's how I know.
Yes. And I love their capsules.
Yes.
Love them. They're once a day. I take them at night. Easy peasy. And my labs are fantastic.
Yeah, our labs are great. And I've actually switched to the capsules and I take those at night now. So if you guys need your iron, they have them with iron and they have them iron free. They even have calcium chews.
Yes, the calcium chews, perfect. They have mocktail ones, chocolate. They have also some caramel and a cinnamon roll.
They're freaking delicious. So go over to procarenow.com and use our code OSLP to save some money.
Prepping and measuring your food post-op is a beast all in itself. But Portion Perfection has actually made it super, super simple. They have bowls, plates, and even a lunch bag called the Kit and Carry where you can have all of the system ready to go.
Yeah, we love carrying that thing around with us. It's so much easier to pack your lunch, your snacks, especially when you're on a road trip. That thing is a lifesaver.
Yes.
So if you want to get these things to help your journey, just go over to portionperfection.com and use our code 15OSL-POD. And again, that's 15OSL-POD. And you can also go over to our Amazon storefront to pick out any of those that you would like to use. If you could take a quiz today about weight loss surgery, how well do you think you would score? Well, there is an app for that, and it's called NewTriHealth.
Yes, it has 12 modules. You watch a video, read an article, and then you get to take the quiz. If you want to be the most prepared for the journey that lies ahead, go over to NewTriHealth.com and put our Sleeve Life podcast as your provider. All know how difficult post-op life can be.
Yeah, it's pretty freaking hard, guys.
Yes. And so a way to make it a little bit easier is by joining the T.R.I.B.E membership program. It has been created by a registered dietitian. She's actually the sleeve dietitian on Instagram. Her name is Jamie. And she's created this whole membership program just to support us.
Yeah, like we've had her on the podcast. We love her to freaking death. And then two, like she has full experts in their field that help you. And they've had bariatric surgery, almost every one of them.
Yes.
And the sleep dietitian is freaking smart because she has almost a support group every single day, guys.
Yes.
You're going to get an email. It's going to tell you which ones are for today. And you can just sign up and hang out with people that are just like you. And I've even used the journal prompts. I'm into journaling, and that was way helpful to just go somewhere that can help you and just get your mind going.
Yes.
So if you need this kind of support, which a lot of us do, go to her website and use our code OSLP at checkout to get your discount. Welcome back, OSLP family. Welcome.
I think you were louder on that one than me. I don't like it.
Well, don't be sick then, or whatever you're doing
I don't
over
know
there.
What's going on with me?
I don't know.
You are listening to our Sleeve Life podcast, and this is Kelly.
This is Mel.
And you guys know we need to discuss our Patreon because if you are not a part of it,
You must be.
I don't know what's wrong with you. There must be something wrong with you for not wanting to go over to patreon.com/OSLP and sign up for our Benchies tier, because that is the best tier out of all of them, I think.
We love that one because literally it's a support group for the community.
Yes,
so
it is.
Me and Kelly are in the group all day long.
Yes.
It's on Facebook, and we know what you're going to say because Kelly thinks it too.
Facebook groups suck. They just suck. They suck a big fat one because it's full of negativity and bad information, and it's just very freaking draining.
It's scary over there.
I don't like being in them. I've actually removed myself from a lot of them because they are so draining. This Facebook group is not like that because that's been that experience. And so we created this one to have a positive spin.
Yeah. And everybody like tells like their life, what's going on, the ups and downs, like the struggles and the wins. And like they've been helping me me through a lot of the stuff that I've been going through with my husband, you know,
me.
and with Kellie and the regain stuff. So like they've really helped us. So go over there, hang out with us. And you also get all your episodes early. Yep. And if you do the $10 tier, you get the videos early and you get your own That's What She Said corner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. You covered a lot in that.
I did.
Also, while you were on your phone or on your computer, go over to YouTube, click the search bar, put Our Sleep Life Podcast in it.
That's
then
right.
you need to click the little bell and hit subscribe so that you get to see videos like this. And then you would see what I just did, which was reach for a tissue.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
So go and do that right now. It means more to us than it does to you. But we really do appreciate it.
Yeah, because videos drop every Tuesday. So you get to see our faces. And then sometimes, like right now, when we have a guest on, you get to see them before anybody else gets to hear them.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So we are very, very, very excited to have Amanda, the Portion Perfection creator.
Yeah. How cool is that?
Back on the show. We're going to talk about all things meal structure.
Yeah.
So welcome back on, Amanda.
Thank you so much. It's great to be with you.
Yay. And thank you for reaching back out and getting back on here because and your idea for this episode, I'm really interested. So I just had my very first dietitian appointment because I recently hired a dietitian to help me work on my mindset and my food and all of that good stuff because, you know, regain. And so I'm excited to talk about this because it's right in the where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
So where would you like to begin?
Well, I guess we should think about what are the things to think about in terms of what an eating sort of day should look like. What are the things to factor in? And I think when you're a dietitian, there's certain things that go through our mind that what comes together in that final meal plan.
Okay.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So the first thing about that is the regularity of how often to eat. And what's your take on that?
Oh God, we've been told so many different things.
Well, in my mind, I feel like breakfast, which breakfast never happens for me. I try. The thought is always there. I just never have it. But the thought is breakfast, snack. Small snack, lunch, small snack, dinner, sometimes dessert.
Sometimes.
Yeah. And I think that that's actually ideal. And there's a number of things that go towards that. You know, the evidence is that you maintain your muscle mass better when there's some amino acids being the breakdown products of protein in your bloodstream over the day because we have to have them in our bloodstream all the time. And so if they don't come in our mouth, we break down our muscle to put them in there because our muscle is like a piece of protein and it can do exactly the same thing. So that's really the first thing. And I think it's really common that if you've got a slow metabolism, that you're not hungry in the morning. I see that all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm like, I don't want breakfast coming near me.
What is up with that? Because my mom actually has to take stuff for like her thyroid and like the metabolism stuff. And she hates eating in the morning too.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't have the solution for it, but I think the best solution is to plan to have a breakfast, whether it's something small, something that just gets something into your system. Because when you don't eat breakfast, it's then easier and easier not to eat breakfast because your body you haven't been having anything. It's not in the routine of producing any digestive enzymes. It hasn't needed any insulin at that point. But if you create a routine and you routinely have something at a particular time every morning, then your body's ready for it. And it does get your metabolism going. It kind of wakes up your digestive system.
Okay.
So
is there like a time where like from when you wake up to when you should start eating?
That's a good question.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's probably within, 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours of getting up.
Okay.
If you want your metabolism to start start moving. There's also evidence that by eating regularly throughout the day, that you experience less cravings.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that regularly for people who don't eat in the morning, that the afternoon then is when they might experience sometimes of being out of control.
Okay.
And so I think having had bariatric surgery, it's really important that we space the food out.
Mm-hmm.
It means we can get the best nutritional intake because we've got more opportunities to eat, and we can do it in small quantities, which doesn't stretch your stomach pouch, because once you've done that and you've desensitized that stretch receptor mechanism of the vagus nerve that goes to your brain and says, I'm satisfied. Once we desensitize that, it takes a bit to calm down the hunger messages from having that small quantity.
Okay.
We need you to feel satisfied on the small quantity for as long as possible.
Okay.
Oh, that makes sense.
Okay.
So we are saying you can stretch your pouch, and we are saying that we can make it to where we're going to be hungry more because of that.
Correct.
Okay.
And so the question may be, well, if I've done that, is there, can I shrink it again?
Right.
And the answer to that is probably not.
Okay.
But you can calm down the messages of hunger that you get by reverting to eating that smaller amount. So same as before you had surgery.
Mm-hmm.
If you reduce your food intake, the first few days are a little uncomfortable, and then you can get kind of into the groove of it and you feel okay.
Okay.
So that still occurs after bariatric surgery.
Yeah, because I know there's quite a bit of back and forth on the stretching the stomach. Some people say you can, some people say you can't. So it's always a toss up on who we're talking about.
Yeah, well, there's, you can have I think a CT physiogram, which shows the size of the pouch. And we absolutely know that some pouches get bigger over time. And that's why some people might be re-sleeved or might get a ring or something. And I guess the value of the ring is it stops you getting that expansion.
Okay.
Okay.
That's where the revision comes in.
Yeah.
For that aspect.
And when we're doing the meals, are we saying every 3 hours? Because we hear that get thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say about every 2.5 hours, which gives you space for breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner, supper. They fall right on kind of ideal times if we're at about the 2.5, maybe to 3 hours in between.
Okay.
All right.
Not too bad.
So it's about 5 meals in a day.
5 to 6, yeah. So I like 6 because it's another opportunity to get some nutrition in, a little cheese bite or something late in the evening, or a glass of milk or something is great for before bed. For some people, though, I encourage them to cut it out or to move it earlier in the day and maybe have, if they're up really early in the morning and it's a long time till lunch, it might be breakfast, 2 morning teas, lunch, an afternoon tea and dinner, and no supper. And I think for some people, after dinner has been quite a dangerous time for unhealthy eating.
Yes.
And so it can be good to not go there, and after dinner, go and brush your teeth, kind of send your body the message that it's all over. We've had enough now.
Okay.
Oh, is that a trick we could do? Like
brush your teeth?
Yeah. Train
Everything
your brain.
tastes bad after brushing your teeth.
That is very accurate.
Yeah. I kind of want to
accurate.
try it because I'm a creature of habit. So if it works, then I'll just keep doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to try this out.
I'm a morning eater. I discovered that this morning when I was doing my dietitian appointment. She asked me, how does the day, how do you start your day? What do you eat during the day? What does it look like?
How does it unfold?
Yeah. And I was like, well, it just depends on the day. Because our schedule is always different. And then we were talking about it. She's like, well, what do you do in the morning? I'm like, that's when my sweet tooth, most people have it at night.
Yeah.
For me, it's I wake up and I want something sweet. And she also said that a lot of people with ADHD tend to crave more sweets
in the morning.
No, just like in general.
Oh, in general.
You crave more sweets versus somebody that's not ADHD.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's interesting. And I was reading something on the weekend about how many people are being diagnosed with adult ADHD. It's wild.
Yeah. I'm currently in the process of getting diagnosed. And a lot of things I'll be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense on why I do that.
Yeah.
So anyways, yeah, it's kind of interesting because I'm the opposite. So I'm wondering if maybe I have my coffee, brush my teeth, and then just, or maybe have breakfast, brush my teeth. Breakfast is just hard for me. And I don't know why. It's the easiest breakfast or like easiest thing to make. It's like,
what is your breakfast?
I don't have a breakfast. But more normally it's like
we have
eggs and but that's like 4 hours after I've gotten up.
Oh yeah, because I get
it.
For me it's 2 hours.
Yeah, you're within the time frame. I am not.
Yeah.
So if we're only looking for something that's around 200 calories, some people find just a liquid breakfast is fine enough, and a milk-based coffee is quite reasonable. It's giving you some protein.
Okay.
You can even add extra protein to it. That's quite reasonable as a breakfast.
Okay, because I generally have my coffee. I brew my coffee, put a scoop of OSLP in it, which is collagen protein, and then I do the Fairlife milk to kind of like mix it up.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am getting protein first thing in the morning. So that's good.
I even heard some people do like coffee and they'll put like butter in it. Like it's a keto thing, I think. Yeah.
Right.
Or they'll drop MCT oil in it because that's really good for you.
I don't mind that, but I'm not putting butter in my coffee.
Yeah.
That's insanity. That is pure insanity. If you
it just doesn't feel right, does it?
If you do that at home, like step away from the butter.
Step away from the butter.
You don't need the butter in your coffee. Just step away. Let's get back to normalcy
It's just a cream.
Here.
It's no different really than a creamer if you think about it.
Very different. It is very different. It is oily and that is nasty. Do not put that in your coffee. Like there is a huge issue if you're putting that shit in your coffee.
You're hilarious.
No.
You're hilarious. Keep doing it, people. I think it's hilarious.
Don't do it. Step away from the butter. Okay.
Okay. Back to Amanda and meal structure.
So apart from those cravings that can be controlled by eating regularly throughout the day, and that's something we could talk about another time. The things that contribute to appetite and which things you have some control over, and which things you don't.
Yeah.
But apart from controlling cravings, it can control mood. Because mood is influenced by what you're eating.
Oh.
And by your brain serotonin levels.
Wait, can you say that a little louder for the back? Because I don't think everybody heard that correctly. Because legit, guys, what you put in your
mood. That your mood is affected by what you eat.
Yes.
And how frequently you eat.
Mm-hmm.
And so whenever you eat something, your body releases some insulin if there's any carbohydrate in there. Insulin causes a shift of where the amino acids are. So the amino acids were those building blocks or breakdown products of protein. And they cause a shift out of your bloodstream into your muscle cells temporarily. And then they slide back out.
Oh.
But it affects all of them except one, and that one is tryptophan. And tryptophan is the building block of serotonin. So that's why carbohydrates tend to make you feel good and calm and relaxed for the moment.
Comfort food.
Yes.
I get
exactly.
it.
It does work. The problem is when you get that level of serotonin artificially high from sugar, then it's going to turn around and it's going to come back down. And as it's falling, that's what feels really uncomfortable. That makes you a little irritable, a little cranky, and gives you cravings to get that back up. So
they all play together.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Okay.
So what we want is we do want some carbohydrate. We want small amounts of carbohydrate associated with some protein. We want it to be low glycemic index, which means less white flour, less sugar.
Okay.
More whole grain foods.
Okay, so like quinoa and brown rice, that's going to be a better option than like a white rice and
Correct.
pasta.
Much better. Pasta actually has a fairly low glycemic index in all forms.
Really?
Rice generally has a very high glycemic index. Yeah, strangely. Something to do with the gelatinous kind of nature of the pasta that just gives it a slower breakdown.
So you can have pasta then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'd always only encourage it in that little bit. So
on the plate.
On the bariatric plate.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've recommended there is that half the plate be your protein and the other half mainly be low starch vegetables. But if you're going to incorporate some concentrated carbohydrate, that it just be a very small amount, which is like 1 dessert spoonful of pasta. So if it was pasta spirals, it's probably 3 or 4 spirals.
I feel like that's all you really need, though.
As a bariatric patient, I think you'll be fine with that.
Yeah, especially if you're pairing it with something like
the hearty protein
or something, or steak.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I used your plate last night, and I was very sad at myself though, because I did my steak. I actually have photos of it, so I'll show you guys later.
Good job.
But I did the steak in the part where it needs to be, and then I had broccoli and my veggies, and then I put my jasmine rice. And I have 2 questions. One, is jasmine rice white rice?
Yes, and jasmine rice actually gets in faster than sugar, strangely. You wouldn't expect anything to get in faster than sugar, but so the glycemic index is that rating of how quickly your body absorbs the carbohydrate, so digests and absorbs the carbohydrate, how quickly your blood sugar rises. So everything's related to sugar, and sugar is given a glycemic index of 100. So everything else compares to that. So like a whole grain bread, for example, might be about 40, so much lower than sugar.
Okay.
But jasmine rice is 102 or something like that. So it's actually faster than sugar. So basmati rice.
I need to get rid of my jasmine rice.
Let's switch it out for a brown rice or quinoa.
I hate brown rice.
You hate it?
Yeah, so bad.
Then you don't get rice. Except for
I like the texture. What else can I?
So if you were to use a white rice, and it's only a little bit you've got there, but if you're just using a white rice, use basmati rice, which is more an Indian style rice rather than the Asian style.
Okay. I could totally do that.
Okay.
I just love the texture of rice, I've noticed.
Yeah, right. That's me and pasta. I like the texture. I like the way that pasta makes me feel. It makes me feel all warm and cozy and comfort food-ish. Mm-hmm. It just goes to show how different, that we don't know all of the information.
Yeah, there's so much information out there.
It's just crazy that even 2.5 years later of us recording this podcast, we're just now finding out that jasmine rice is not okay.
So that's why I've tried to factor this knowledge into equipment so that it's easy to follow the instructions and get it right, or, just put things where they belong, pack your lunch the way I've suggested, and a whole lot of these things that maybe you're not aware of are falling into place without your recognition.
Yeah, because I noticed that I probably eat 4 of those little sections that you had for rice. So we're going to have to reel that back. Dude, that section is tiny.
I know.
Okay. That's 4 spoons full is what I typically do. Don't you give me that look.
I'm not giving you any look. I'm looking at.
But I have realized it because
looking at your tattoo.
Because I have the portion plate at home, and so I use it, and I was like, oh crappy. Yeah. And I was like, I'm gonna talk to Amanda about that tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also when I'm packing using the kit and carry, I also realize how much I go over in my snack areas, and I'm like, yes, I end up throwing most of it out because I don't ever, if I pack a Ziploc bag, I'm never finishing that Ziploc bag. I'm always throwing some portion of it out. But then I'm saving money in the long run because then I'm only eating what's in the little jars. So
I like those little jars.
I do too.
Exactly. You've got less waste. It's also helping your brain to recognize that right quantity.
Yes.
Whereas if you're eating from something larger, it's easier to overeat, and you're not showing yourself how much to eat because you're always seeing a larger quantity.
Yes.
Yes, you never know what portion you should be having. Like when we go out to dinners, like, I mean, I never finished my plate ever since surgery, but still.
There's sometimes we look and we're like,
how?
Like, but then you think back and I'm like, I used to eat this, all of this, plus appetizers, plus dessert.
Yeah.
Plus, like, if they have bread or whatever on the table, how, like, no wonder I needed surgery.
Yeah, it's just incredible, like how big these portion sizes are. And then they tell us that we should know better, that we should know how to portion out everything and be smart. And that's why we're lazy, because we don't know how to do these things. It's like, bro, you give it to me on a plate.
Bro.
And very unfair.
It's not fair. And then they want to discriminate against us because we're fat. Like, vicious cycle.
That's why I like the plate, because it takes the guesswork out of it. That's why I like the kit and carry, because it takes the guesswork out of it.
So much easier.
You literally just take what you like to eat and put it in the little sections and you're done.
Yep.
There's no, like, the guesswork is taken completely out of it.
It makes my head not hurt. So thank you, Amanda, for doing that.
Yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Yes.
So back on track, regularity, the other benefits of eating really regularly through the day is that you get better cholesterol control as well, and better blood sugar control, because you're putting less in at a time. So there's less for your body to deal with.
Okay.
And it can do it a whole lot better.
Got it.
Well, that makes sense.
I like it.
And why do we want to keep our cholesterol under control and blood sugar?
Oh, right. So keeping your blood sugar under control is for the benefit of the health of your pancreas and protecting you from diabetes in the long run.
Okay.
It also helps with that mood control, because that insulin has that effect on your serotonin. And as far as your cholesterol goes, that's for heart disease, one of the biggest killers. And by spacing it out, your body has a better chance of just dealing with the saturated fat that you're eating at that time, dealing with it effectively. Often when you put too much in one go, your body can't deal with it all at once. Same with calories. When you put it all in at once, your body can only use as much as it uses when you eat a small amount. So it keeps a little bit of it circulating, ready to be used for energy, and the rest gets stored as body fat. So the more you eat in one go, the more is going to body fat, because if you space it out, you can burn a bit and keep a bit just traveling around in your bloodstream waiting to be used at each eating opportunity.
So that makes more sense of like why several small meals throughout the day make more sense because,
Well, and if you want to flip it a little bit, it makes sense. Can me or you or Amanda are able to handle a lot of stuff all at once? No. We have to spread it apart.
Of course, she has to be logical about this.
But you do. It's just like with anything, whether you have to do a goal or a speech or prepare for everything. If you try to do it all at once, your brain hurts and then you start messing up shit. But if you do it slowly and methodically, it comes out very nice.
Well, and this explains a lot to me, because I have gained a good amount of weight back, and I'm working on getting rid of it, but it makes sense on why I gained the way I did, because I don't eat breakfast. Most of the time I don't even eat lunch. So then I'm shoving everything into dinner and a snack after dinner. And so my body is storing it as fat instead of me spreading it out throughout the day.
Yeah, using it as energy throughout the day.
That makes complete sense.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Right.
So the next thing to think about is how much you're eating. And so having had the surgery, the ideal amount that surgery is designed for is around a cupful of food. So I do people often will ask, well, I'm only on half a cup. That must be better. But in fact, what I end up seeing when people are eating less than a cup, is that they end up eating more often or they start grazing because your body still has the drive to eat and to get enough in.
Oh.
But if we go, if you're only having half a cup breakfast, lunch, then by the evening, your body's like, wow, give me something.
Yeah, it wants substance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And really grazing, it is what binge eating looks like after bariatric surgery. And it is a drive. It's not just a choice. It's your body driving you. So it's like a compulsion. So you can reduce the pressure or the drive of that compulsion by getting more food earlier in the day.
Okay.
I feel like I'm being personally attacked.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
Attacked.
It's okay.
With facts.
It's okay. I can take. Yeah, I'm being attacked by facts.
Yes.
And I really don't like them right now. But it's okay. I can survive this.
I will quote my aunt. She says that if you have a personal feeling about something, about facts, then maybe you should look more at yourself.
I am. Thank you, Melanie. Rosalind.
Hey, my aunt said it. I was just quoting her.
Save that for after the show.
I love it. I love it.
So the drive, because that's what I feel. I feel that compulsion at the end of the day to eat anything and everything because I'm not giving my body what it needs.
Correct.
So my other question is that cup of food, is that right after surgery? Or is that like the whole time? Like even now, 3 years out?
It's really from about 6 months onward.
Okay.
So before that, people would be on less than a cup, but we would work our way up to about a cupful by 6 months. And then that's where we want to stay. And I would say never eat more than a cupful of food ever again, whilst ever you want to be satisfied on a cupful of food.
Oh, shoot. Okay.
Makes sense?
Yeah. I need to go back to cups.
We need to reel ourselves in because this is a very eye-opening conversation for
I did
us.
not realize a cup, man.
And it is so difficult because every portion size is too big. It's too big even without surgery. And we're really influenced by the amount of food that's in front of us. We've really got a limited ability to stop the food in front of us getting in our mouths. That's how we are as humans.
Yeah.
So, obviously the solution for everyone is not that everybody has bariatric surgery or everybody takes medication or anything.
Right.
We really need to change the environment, but it's probably not going to change in our lifetimes.
Not
hopefully we can lay the footwork for the next one.
Yeah.
I feel like we are.
Yeah.
I feel like all of us are because like there's way more awareness now than there actually has ever been. So
yeah. That's interesting. I'm still on the cup full of food. That just shocks me. That shocks me. I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm not eating a cup full of food.
I'm eating way more than that.
Yeah. Because a cup in general, if you're thinking about a cup, it always seems more than what it actually is.
It's actually not too bad. Like the bariatric plate, when you fill just the base of it, 3/4 of an inch deep in the middle, that is 1 cup, but it still looks like a reasonable meal.
Oh,
yeah, it does.
Okay. All right.
Because I was like,
I was very worried for a second. I was like, holy hell, how am I going to get all that food in a cup?
Right. But I could have fit
down.
I could have fit the steak and the broccoli and the rice because it was a spoonful of rice. Could totally fit that in a cup.
Yeah. Your plate is 1 cup, and the Barry prepper in the kit and carry is 1 cup.
It is
So
1 cup.
Yep.
Yes. I like that.
So we can just
container.
build our meals in that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah. I have already done in the berry prep container. I like putting the chicken salad in one side and then cutting up the bell peppers, the sweet bell peppers, and putting them on the other side. And then I eat that.
Yeah.
So,
sounds perfect.
Oh, it's actually
really good.
Really good. And if you put the everything but bagel seasoning in it on the chicken, it's really good.
I was impressed.
Yeah. I was very impressed. And my bonus children They
Your
they
buns.
loved it. And they're
They
like,
did.
I was prepared for them to hate it because most of my cooking things they don't like. So
You did follow a recipe this time.
I did follow a recipe and I put no salt in it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
The other thing to be careful of is liquids, in terms of thinking about how much we're eating. Some people don't think about what they drink as a meal, but often it is a meal.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So anything that contains calories, so milk-based coffee, a small one would be a snack. That one that you've got there is more like a meal.
This guy?
if that was based on milk.
Yes.
That is a tea, hot tea.
How big
So
is
that's
this? Okay.
at least good.
So-
We're both
think
got
it's
our hot
16,
tea
right?
going on.
16 ounces?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
about 16.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, I drink tea all day.
So
I
like
love
a
the tea.
venti Starbucks
Probably not.
would be a whole meal.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Anything that's calorie containing. Typically in about an 8-ounce glass, there's about 100 calories. So that would be
Okay.
something milk-based, something juice-based, or,
I'm gonna-
anything sugary or anything like that.
I'm gonna look it up because I'm interested
Of what you
in
would
what
drink?
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been telling my kid, because like he drives now, he's 16, and
Oh.
he's been going to Dutch Brothers. And I was like, we don't drink our calories. So please
Yes,
stop going, because his girlfriend loves Dutch Bros. And I get it. It's good. But like, I actually had to tell her like, hey, like Dylan can't have this. Like he is built like me. And when we do those things, it stores almost immediately. So like
Yeah.
we can't be doing this.
So mine is 150 calories.
That's not bad.
It's
Okay.
not horrible.
Yeah.
But I can count that as like a snack, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So ideally a snack's about 100 calories. So
Okay.
you're just a bit above that.
Okay.
So I would say ideally a meal is about 200 to 250 calories.
Okay.
And a snack is about 100 calories.
Okay.
Good to know.
Okay. If I get a grande, it's 110 calories.
Get a grande. You never really finish your drinks anyway,
I knew you were going to say that.
because you don't.
I feel judged.
Well, don't. You'll save money, and you'll save, I don't know, your tummy.
Okay. Okay. So that makes a lot of sense. 100 calorie snacks. That's why when you're like in this grocery store, everything has like 100 calorie snacks
Mhm.
everywhere.
Yep.
It's perfect.
Okay.
And it's perfect. That's what I think is a perfect snack size, whether or not you've had bariatric surgery. So the
Okay.
meals are smaller with bariatric surgery,
Mhm.
but the snacks are about the same as what
Okay.
I'd be recommending for either.
Okay. So can I ask you a question about nuts?
Sure.
What are the best nuts to have as a snack?
I would say any nuts are good. They've all got good fats. They've all got some good nutrients in there, some fat-soluble vitamins,
Okay.
little bit of fiber. The right size serve would be something like 14 almonds or 14 cashew nuts.
Okay.
So it's like the little container on your snacker. The smallest one is for nuts.
Oh, perfect.
That's right.
Mhm.
Okay.
That will give you a 100 calorie serve. So effectively it's like 2 tablespoons or something like that. But, it's really like a tablespoon is a metric measuring spoon,
Yeah.
whereas often we think of a tablespoon as just a really big
Right.
kind of eating spoon. And so we have it heaped. And so it's a little less exact, but the little section on the snacker, or 14 almonds, you can kind of picture that. It doesn't take up too much of your hand.
I think 14 is quite a bit
It is. Yeah.
because I like to do like cashews, cheese, and salami together because it all works together.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's got the creaminess of the cheese, the saltiness of the salami, and a little bit of like greasiness. And then the nuts have the salt.
Yeah, that provolone salami thing we got from Costco.
Yeah.
Everybody loved them.
Oh, okay. So we need to go back
So we
to
need to get
Costco.
more, because I
Okay.
was pairing those two things with my cashews.
Nice.
Yeah. And I could actually tell the difference. I was feeling full longer. I was like, oh, I'm good for like a couple more hours. Like it's not even
Yeah.
a thing. Like
I
when
feel like string cheese doesn't give you enough by itself. Like, I feel like the packs of meat and cheese actually go
They
longer.
They do. Yeah.
Than a string cheese.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they should. There's some meat in it. Meat.
Okay.
So the thing to be careful of there is you're combining 3 different calorie dense things.
Oh, true.
So you still want the combination. If it's a meal, then, we'd be looking at maybe the equivalent of maybe 10 grams of cheese, which is like half a slice, maybe half the serve of nuts, so about 7 almonds, and then maybe it's 2 thin slices of salami. That might make a meal. It's still too big for a snack.
Okay.
So the snack, if it's one or the other, would be 1 slice of cheese is about the 100 calories. 14 almonds is about the 100 calories on its own.
Okay.
And the salami, we're probably talking about 3 thin slices.
Okay. And that's still really filling too.
I want to look it up.
So you want a third of each of those if you want to combine them to be a snack.
Okay. Yeah. Cause like it can add up really fast, especially with like the denser stuff, because we do have to eat more of like the high protein stuff, but also like more, I guess like I call them little fatties because of the like peanut butter and nuts and stuff like that. Yeah. Because it is higher in fat too.
It is higher in fat. I got called out for the high cholesterol on that one because that's all I was eating was cheese and salami.
Her cholesterol went up. Her doctor was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. She was like, time to drop it back down. That's not what you need to be eating. Whatever, Costco's being stupid. So, but yeah, I think it's eye-opening to hear what is a snack.
Yeah.
Versus what is a meal. Because I think sometimes when the lines get very blurred, because as a bariatric patient, you're already eating small amounts. So it's really hard to be like, well, here's my small meal. And then here's my even tiny snack. So,
or sometimes they look the same size.
So it's
confusing.
It can get very confusing. That's why I think the kit and carry is so helpful, because it tells you exactly what your snacks should measure out to be.
Yeah. Okay. So we've talked about how regularly to eat. We've talked about the quantity. We know that the protein is important. And to put a figure on that, I know that in pounds, I would say that the or grams of protein per pound ideal body weight. Okay. That in the US, you would say that the usual recommendation would be 0.36 of a gram per pound ideal body weight. So that would be top of the ideal weight range.
Okay.
That's kind of pre-surgery. Once you've had surgery and we're trying to limit muscle loss, we increase the protein need. And as dietitians, we haven't quite decided what that ideal protein amount is, but I can say that I use 0.5 of a gram per pound ideal body weight, which in my language is 1.1 grams per kilogram ideal body weight. Okay. And I do body composition testing on my clients all the time. So I can tell that they're managing to maintain their muscle mass on that. So I think that's quite adequate. But you will find higher recommendations. Okay. So in general, that probably works out to be somewhere between probably more like 70 to 90 grams of protein per day in the first year after surgery. And then once you're not losing weight so rapidly, you can afford to drop it to a little bit less than that. So it might be 60 to 80 grams kind of once you're beyond that.
Okay. Once you're beyond the 1 year.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what do you mean by ideal body weight? So is that like if I'm technically with my height, and my ideal body weight would be this, like, I think it's like 145 or something.
That's stupid.
I know.
Yeah. So for that calculation, we use what is a BMI of 25. Oh. Now, I would need to do a few conversions to figure out how you do that in America using pounds rather than using kilograms. Okay. But you will find BMI calculators.
Yes.
So yeah, I could probably send on to you if you want to put in the notes how to actually work that out.
Yeah,
of course.
No, that would be really good. I think because I know that there's a way to do it.
You just Google, because that's where I always go.
I know, but I'm thinking it might be Berrytastic.
That app.
Yeah, because I use Berrytastic and that it calculates your BMI based on all the information you put in.
Okay.
So I have mine the most accurate. Come on.
Update.
I'm pretty sure I worked it out. I worked out the calculation in pounds for the US version of Portion Perfection for Bariatrics, the book.
Yes.
So I can send that on to you.
Yeah.
Very nice.
That would be perfect.
Very nice. So, okay. So now we're up to this point and of our routine. Is there anything left that we should be doing? Yeah. So I guess we've already talked a bit about the nutrient density in terms of that serving size, that the calorie dense things, the things that are higher in fat, the portion size is smaller of. So you want to pad that out so that you still get your stretch receptors kind of triggered at meal times by that low starch vegetable component. So that's important. Okay.
I think the variety is important because even with, for example, fruit, different components within the fruit group have different benefits.
Okay.
So bananas are high in potassium, but are not particularly high in vitamin C, whereas other fruits are very high in vitamin C, like berries. So by having different types of fruit over the week, you get the benefits of the whole group. There's also benefit to the different colors.
Different colors.
Yeah. Well, it makes your plate more fun too.
It does, but the colors are also a bit of a clue to some of what we call the phytonutrients. And the phytonutrients aren't technically vitamins, which means we don't get a deficiency disease if we don't get these phytonutrients, but they enhance our health. So they protect us from diabetes and heart disease.
Oh, okay.
Okay. What fruits would...
Yeah, tell us the colors and everything.
Yeah.
Well, they're in all fruits, but there's different ones in the different colors.
Oh, okay. So like green grapes versus purple grapes.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Interesting. What about vegetables? Do they have the same benefits color-wise?
Correct. Correct. So those orange vegetables compared to the green vegetables.
Okay. Dark green versus light green. Okay. All right. What would be some of the best fruits and vegetables to have? I really just think getting a variety. In general, we'd say there's real benefit after bariatric surgery in those low starch vegetables. So that's everything except the potato, sweet potato, pumpkin, peas, corn, and maybe the high fat ones being the avocado and the olive. So all those other ones like your broccoli, cauliflower, carrots, beans, zucchini, cabbage, all of those sorts of vegetables are really good for giving you those nutrients and giving you some volume without giving you too many calories. Oh,
well, that's nice. I've heard that like we should have more like greens,
like dark green
versus the other types of veggies.
There is definitely a benefit to all types, but if we looked at broccoli, for example, there's a substance in broccoli called sulforaphane, which helps our liver to detoxify against chemical exposure. So, for example, in your liver, when you breathe in cigarette smoke, for example, there's a 2-step process that your liver goes through to turn that cigarette smoke into nothing, to detoxify it. But the first step of the process actually turns it into something more dangerous. And then the second step turns it into nothing. So for some people, they've got really good levels of that first enzyme and poor levels of the second one. So they would be the people who might get cancer from secondhand smoke. Whereas people who have good levels of that second enzyme are very good at detoxifying cigarette smoke. The substance in broccoli helps your body produce that second enzyme. So very good for detoxification, very good for cancer protection for that reason.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I heard something about the broccoli sprouts are like super good for you.
Really?
Yeah. So that's because of the sulforaphane.
Nice.
okay.
Yeah. I actually bought, I need to find, it's probably gone now, but like I bought a little kit so I could have my little broccoli sprouts in my window. Cause I was like, cause people have been like, just throw it on top of stuff. Like just have a little bit every couple days. Like you don't have to have a lot of it, but it does wonders for yourself. So I'm like, I love broccoli. I love almost everything broccoli. Yeah.
Broccoli's like my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
And which I don't understand why I don't pair it with more meals because I love freaking broccoli.
Well, I thought of you yesterday because of that, because I saw the frozen bag in the fridge and I was like, I'm just going to do this because like we have it. Why are we not using it?
That's a win.
I know.
That is a huge win.
So that's why I had broccoli and my steak and my way too much rice.
Yeah, kind of
great. Yeah. You can actually improve the amount of sulforaphane you get from whole broccoli by either eating it raw or chopping it up for a little and leaving it sit for a while before you actually cook it.
What does that do?
So the sulforaphane is created when two of the substances combine. And the way they get to combine is that the broccoli is cut. Or it's crunched. You know, you chew it, the cells are broken, those two substances can combine to form the sulforaphane. But if you cook it, those substances are denatured and you don't create the sulforaphane. But if you chop it up first, then you are breaking those cells. It does form and it's heat stable, apparently.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay, so what about if you buy like a frozen, because I like the frozen bags of vegetables because I throw it in the microwave, 5 minutes, it's done. So what about with that? So it's been flash frozen, obviously.
Yeah, so the freezing shouldn't make any difference to the sulforaphane. The chopping will have made a difference.
Okay.
So likely you'll get more sulforaphane potentially from that because it's been chopped before it was frozen. And so some of the sulforaphane has been created. Interesting.
Perfect. I love it.
Yeah. And wanting to figure this out. So I'm not going to be able to say that word. Nope. Okay, so that's going to help. Sulforaphane. So that helps with the second enzyme in your liver. Is there anything we can eat to help us with the first enzyme?
Most of us generally have a pretty good first enzyme.
Okay.
But that second enzyme is the risky one because we're creating something more dangerous than we were actually exposed to in the first place.
Yeah, because that's what that first thing does.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk. So we talked about the low glycemic carbs. We talked about the nutrient dense vegetables or fruit. So as far as protein, what's the best protein to have on your plate?
Ooh.
Probably a natural protein is going to be the best. So that's going to be your meat or your legumes or eggs or nuts or dairy, anything that's got some naturally occurring protein. Then when it comes to supplementation, and I do think it's a good idea to supplement protein because it takes the pressure off every piece of food on your plate having to be high in protein because when you're trying to get 75 grams of protein, that's a lot when you're only eating a cupful at a time. So by using a supplementary protein, you kind of take the pressure off. It means you could have a piece of fruit for afternoon tea, which has almost no protein in there because you've had something else. So whey protein is the best quality protein to be your added protein. Collagen, not as good, but collagen lower in calories and can be more easily mixed into things. So I do like a tasteless collagen protein.
That's why we go with T.R.I.B.E because theirs tastes freaking amazing.
Yeah, I use their cinnamon cereal, so it tastes like Life cereal. So good.
And I put the it's the Entenmann chocolate chip cookies in my coffee because it gives you that like sweet kind of taste that you want.
It's like a light one. It's not overpowering.
No, not at all. And that's why I like it in my coffee because I didn't realize how I was starting my day with protein, but it's good to know that can be a supplementation.
Yeah, it helps
for the protein throughout the day. So
yeah, perfect. So the last few things to think about is just the consistency. So doing the same thing regularly, you need to have a plan that is doable, that is enjoyable, that you will follow through with. And you need to set yourself up for success so that you make it easy for yourself. And that might involve some planning, knowing in advance what you're going to have, or meal prepping, or packing your lunch bag ready to go. Having a bit of an autopilot or a bit of forethought, because it really helps when your mind is on other things to know, what I usually have for lunch is this.
Okay.
So that is fine that I do that. And I go, we'll have sometimes the same thing for a long time.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely good to get variety, but a fallback, I think, is perfect. Okay. And particularly if it's a good fallback.
Okay. Yeah, because I drank a protein shake every morning for 2 years, from surgery date till 2 years after. And I would just get made fun of all the time. And I'm just like, it's fine. Leave me alone. I'm drinking my protein shake.
That does not affect anybody else but you.
Stop caring. Come on now.
But even now we fall back on there's these chicken nuggets, but they're called Just Bare. And they've got very, very light coating. They taste like, I don't know if you guys have Chick-fil-A, but Chick-fil-A is delicious. They taste like
been to the US.
Okay. So they're really, really good, and they're low in calorie, and it's something that we enjoy eating, and it's got high protein in it because it's just like chicken chunks. Which I hate that word, but whatever. So we'll have that like pretty much every day for lunch if we're together. She'll make it, and then we'll just both eat out of the same bowl. So
yeah, we got to get that protein in.
Yeah.
So.
Great fallback, nice and easy. You've chosen something that is convenient.
Yes. Yeah. And it just goes in the air fryer 9 minutes and it's done. So it's it's easy, high protein, and it's actual like solid food.
It is. That's actually what I had for lunch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
I did not.
Perfect. So I guess if we were to summarize what to eat and how much looks like, it means you're eating regularly throughout the day. You're making healthy choices most of the time. Maybe you're having a smoothie or cereal or eggs or something along those lines at breakfast. There's also some high protein breads now, which make it easier to just have peanut butter on toast.
Yeah.
Lunch is ideally something with some vegetables, maybe like a protein and salad. Dinner might be your meat and vegetables. You've got your snacks in between. That might be nuts, or might be yogurt, or might be a boiled egg, might be a protein drink, might be a slice of cheese, a variety of healthy things to have for morning tea or morning snack, afternoon snack, supper. Okay. You've thought about your protein. You're in a bit of a system or a routine. That's what will help carry you through.
Okay.
Well, and I know, we both know from experience,
routine is best.
Yeah. And when we're on point, we feel so much better.
We do.
And when I used to have do the full meal prep in the first couple of years, because I'm 7 years out. So things have definitely changed over these years.
Yes.
And when I just remember feeling the best. I had the most energy. The brain fog was gone. And I felt like I could conquer almost anything.
Yep.
And it was such a wild feeling. I really liked that feeling.
Yeah. I feel like that when I'm not consuming too much sugar.
Yeah.
When I consume too much sugar, I feel kind of foggy, very almost, it's almost like a depressed state because I'm just I don't really feel like doing anything. I'm just kind of there.
Yeah.
But when I think back to right after surgery, when almost all sugar was cut out, I would just go. and I felt so much better. The brain fog was gone. I felt stronger and more on point.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, it's amazing the power that sugar has over us.
Yes. I'm really starting to go down a rabbit hole of why sugar. Like I've been doing research of why sugar is so bad for you. And
it's intense.
Especially for me, like I have autoimmune diseases and it's not good for autoimmune diseases.
No.
It actually feeds the autoimmune and then it makes me 10 times worse, which explains why I was like basically bedridden before, because all I was consuming was basically sugar.
And and it was literally just like preventing you from doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah.
Well, I think you've got some really good things kind of in place now.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of making them your routine and keeping the consistency and setting up your environment to support the consistency.
Yes. Thank you so much for like breaking it down for us. Like you basically like broke down the plate.
Which is so much. It made me feel like, okay, we can all do this. This is not hard to do. We got to stop overthinking it.
Definitely overthink.
We overthink so much.
Yes.
And if we can just stop getting in our own way, because I feel like sometimes we're just like halting ourselves.
Yeah.
If we can just get over that and just do the things.
Yeah.
I mean, we always feel better.
We always do.
We always do.
So thank you so much, Amanda, for breaking all that down for us.
Yeah.
And like giving us all the information. So now we feel informed. Hopefully our followers and listeners can feel more informed about what to put on your plate, how to build a plate after surgery, and just in general.
Yeah.
Because there are some really good info. That's some really good info in there. I don't know if that made sense.
Do you want to tell everybody where they can get the things that we've been talking about?
Yeah, sure. Well, I think you've got some links.
To
Portion Perfection, either on Amazon or our website. You can find us on Facebook at Portion Perfection. I think for anyone who's confused about what to eat, the Portion Perfection for Bariatrics book spells it out in pictures. So it's showing you, a smoothie and this is what you'd put in there. Or if you're having cereal, this much and this much. So
that's one thing I really like about the book is that it does break it down in a very easy to understand way.
Yeah, it really, really does. And we'll be showing you guys this stuff because I have the book at my house.
Yeah, Mel took it.
So I'll be showing you some updates, guys, especially around the time of this airs, because like it is so much easier, guys.
It really is. And that plate is a lifesaver. There is a bowl also that I use for doing my salads and stuff. To measure out how much I'm putting in of each thing. Yeah. But I mean, they're very sturdy. They're you can put it in the microwave. You can put them in the dishwasher. Like,
yeah. And my kid started using them. He's like, can I use your plate? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. Do it, man. Yeah. Like, you're going to learn from it.
They know now that it's our plates.
They do.
It's really funny because I'm like, no. This is my plate.
This is mine.
Back off.
Well, because I do use your bowl for the chicken nuggets that she's talking about. Yeah. So like every time I'm like, this is ours.
Yes, we are going to share this.
Well, you can see 1 cup, so you know that you are getting 1 cup, that it's not such a little amount. It's
exactly.
Okay. It just sounds little.
It does, but it's not.
But I think it's hard after, like, especially for us, like binge eaters or food addiction personalities. Like we've always tried to diet in the past. And so 1 cup seems like such a small amount, but we forget that we have had our stomachs altered at this point.
Yes.
Like, it's not a small amount.
It's actually the right amount. It's not a reduction. It's the right amount.
I like the way you said that. Ooh. It's not a reduction. It's the right amount.
The right amount. And thinking about it, so like 1 cup is 8 ounces. And when we first got out of surgery, some of us can only have 1 ounce to 2 ounces.
Yeah, I was at like half an ounce right after surgery.
So like 8 ounces actually is a lot for our tummy. Quite a bit, so we break it down even further. Like, guys, we're getting way more than we did in the very beginning. So 8 times.
All right. I like it. I didn't think about that. Yeah. But that makes a lot more sense.
Alrighty, guys. Well, we have everything linked below. You guys know that because We love Portion Perfection.
Yes.
They are sponsoring the podcast as well. And we want to thank you so much for doing that for us,
Yes.
Amanda. That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
So check out below. Check out our Amazon storefront. We've got all the information on all the different products there.
That's right.
If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to Amanda on the Facebook page, or you can reach out to us and we can find the answer out for you. We are always here to help you.
That's right.
And while you're looking at links and everything, don't forget to go to oursleevelifepodcast.com, sign up for our newsletter. There is a free ebook.
There is a free
comes
ebook
with that.
Yeah.
So check out all the things, look at all the things. Amanda, thank you so much for being with us again.
My absolute pleasure. Great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We love you guys and we will see you
Next time. Bye.